Boston, Ottawa to start, 51-52 on the rotation. We got the Boston Bruins heavily favored on the road in this game, about $1.65 to $1.70 in the majority of offshore books. And again, SBRodds.com is the place you really want to be. Games like this where you've got a different level of pricing with Boston, for instance. You want to be able to make sure you're getting the best price available. SBRodds.com will help you with that. The total 5.5. Pretty much across the board, -10 to about -115 with that shaded a little bit to the over. Boston playing good hockey, finally got cooled off a little bit as they could not manage to make a lead hold up against the Washington Capitals in their last game, falling to the Caps in a shootout, whereas the Ottawa Senators, give them credit. A little bit of a surprise win last night for them as a home dog against the Columbus Blue Jackets, a 5-4 victory. And where did the offense come from for the Ottawa Senators? Holy goodness, 5 goals. That's a damn near explosion for them these days in terms of putting the biscuit in the basket. They were able to do that and find the back of the net many times against the Jackets last night. Not one of the scintillating performances that you're ever going to see from Bobrovsky, by the way, for Columbus. He was not exactly that sharp in net, but Ottawa's going to take it. Now they've got some momentum. Weird scheduling situation on both sides. You've got Boston playing their third game in 4 nights. You've got Ottawa playing back-to-back games, but no travel, at home. In back-to-back nights. So who's got the advantage? Who's got the disadvantage? It's tough to say. Probably a game I'm not going to get involved with, although, Ottawa finally does have some momentum. And usually when a win, when you're struggling, happens, you get a little confidence, an extra boost and pep in your step. So is there value on Ottawa as a home dog? I kind of lean that way, but I don't know if I want to go against Boston. I don't think there's any shame in them losing to the Capitals the other night. They've still overall for the last couple of weeks played good hockey, and it started at the defensive end, where they played much better, and Tuukka Rask's obviously been a big part of that, played well for the Bruins in net also. Dana Lane's involved with the Bruins-Senator game tonight. Dana, what are you looking at here in this matchup?
Hey, good morning, guys. Yeah, finally the Boston Bruins are getting healthy. I mean, it seems like this is a broken record every time that we talk about the Bruins. But this past week, we did see David Krejci and Adam McQuaid skating at practice, and there's a lot of belief that McQuaid is going to play today, which means that's going to add to the Boston Bruins depth. If he plays, I think what you're going to look at is probably Spooner, and then you're going to probably have DeBrusque on his wing. So, slowly but surely, the Bruins are getting back to what they were or what they hoped to, with what Bruce Cassidy thought they would be. But I will say this: you know how I feel when guys return to the lineup, even if they're depth guys. And this is not just a depth guy; he's a key depth guy. And so, anybody who's a key player returning to the lineup, I always think it takes a while to get back into the swing of things. So we see him even today in the early betting on this game. The total was minus $1.05 on both sides on 5.5, and that's been bet up a little bit. Both according to the SBR odds page, according the professionals and the general public are both betting the over so far. That's pushed this number up quite a bit, or a little bit at least. But you can get some even money on the under, and that's kind of where I'm leaning tonight. I thought there was times last time that Boston and Ottawa played that Boston was pretty frustrated in a neutral zone. I thought even going back to last year's playoffs, I thought Ottawa was a team that really gave the Bruins fits, and that's if you're a team that's coming back together again and trying to round into form. I certainly don't want to be playing a team like Ottawa who frustrates teams in a neutral zone, and they're starting to kind of go back to a little bit of playoff hockey because I think that they quite honestly are in desperation mode. You're getting a good number on the under tonight, so we're going under 5.5 between Boston and Ottawa.
All right, under 5.5, Boston, Ottawa. It's a good actually situation to look at because you see Ottawa play this 5-4 game. Now they're playing back to back. They're still not a team that
Yeah.
offensively was rolling at any point before last night against Columbus. So Dana's saying this could be a one-off where we see Ottawa just light it up last night. Very well could be true. And Boston, playing good defensively. That's certainly a lean of mine under 2 as well. Andrew, what are you looking at in this game? You're on it as well.
Yeah, good morning, guys. Well, we're noticing right now there's all these back-to-backs happening, or two teams playing each other for the second time in just a couple of games, and what I really notice is, of course, there are differences in the pricing we're getting and the lines, and of course, home ice advantage, different players in the lineup, different lines, who's in nets, etc. But for me, I don't like to really think too much into it, guys. I mean, on that last meeting, it was just completely an all dominance matchup for the Boston Bruins. I mean, they looked like they were playing a junior hockey team out there in the Ottawa Senators. So for me, when I look at that last night game against Columbus, the 5-4 game, that doesn't really, rattle me too much. It doesn't really, get me out of bed thinking this Ottawa Senators is a new team. And I think that's kind of what fools a lot of people. So I'm looking at the puck line for Boston tonight. Obviously, there's not really much value in looking at the money line with them, but I think that Boston just has Ottawa's number. They're way too fast for them. And one thing about Boston I've noticed right now, guys, is they're not really one of those teams that just has one or two lines, guys. They've got a couple lines they can roll. Their power plays got they got two lines, two power play lines that really can put the puck in the back of the net. But not only that, one thing about this team I think goes really underrated, and I've really been trying to notice this about teams more. Instead of just looking offensively, guys, let's look defensively at this Bruins team. Because if you look at their last couple losses here, 4-3 against Washington, was it 3-2 against New York Rangers, and the rest of them have been really wins in their past 10 games, but they don't lose by a lot, is my point, guys. They're always competing in games, and I just don't think that against the Ottawa Senators, Ottawa's going to be able to fight till the end with them. I think the Boston Bruins, I don't have the stat in front of me right now, but have been a great third period team. They just know how to finish games. They're a veteran team. They've got a lot of older guys. And I just think that this Ottawa Senators team hasn't been the team that we've kind of expected them to be. And the funniest part is, guys, we thought that of all things, the problems that they're having this year are actually goaltending for some reason. So that's kind of a surprise to me. But Boston 5-1 straight up in their last 6 games. Boston is 6-2 straight up in his last 8 games on the road. And Boston's really taking care of business in Ottawa as well. So um, although home ice advantage has actually been a good advantage for the Senators versus the Bruins, I just think these are two different teams, guys. Last time the puck line cashed easily. Unfortunately, I was on the under in that one and it didn't hit. But I actually am against Dana on this one. Have a little slightly on the over, just because I do think that with Ottawa scoring yesterday, it might be a little spark for their offense. So might have a little bit of chemistry going. Might feel a little bit good. They're back on home ice, but for me, it just doesn't really make too much of a difference from this game and a couple games. The fact that they're on home ice doesn't matter to me. I like Boston on the puck line.
All right, Boston puck line for Andrew. Boston 5-1 their last 6 games, no question. It's not like this is a dominating home ice either for Ottawa. 7-9 on home ice this season. That's not a great record by any stretch. And look, all you need to see with Boston is not only are they playing good defensively, but there's numerous guys on this team up front right now that have found ways to contribute offensively. We know Marchand, Bergeron are going to be their usual consistent selves, but look at what we're seeing now. We've seen Nola Chari chip in with a goal. David Backes is all of a sudden red hot the last 3 games. Where's this explosion come from for the 33-year-old? I mean, he's been terrific in terms of his offensive production lately. Danton Heinen is a guy that's really made an impact in recent games for this team. So they're getting those contributions now from outside sources, not the usual. Like, it's not just Marchand Bergeron for a change. You're getting other guys now getting into the mix and making things happen for Boston offensively, and you contribute that with a team that's getting healthier. As Dana mentioned, Adam McQuaid very potentially back tonight in the lineup after missing quite a bit of time. And you're talking about one of the mainstays and shutdown guys on this team. That's Adam McQuaid, and is certainly a veteran presence who's been on this team now for many, many years. Getting him back is going to help. So there's a lot to like right now with this Boston team, no question about that. As Ottawa got another strong performance in them. That was, by the way, Condon last night for the Ottawa Senators. So there's a chance you'll probably see Craig Anderson tonight back in between the pipes for the Senators. That remains to be seen. But Andrew going with the puck line on the Bruins, and Dana looking under the total in that game.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to our channel. Now, we've put a lot of work into producing all these free videos, so please help us out and keep all our content free for you forever by simply liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Now, not to mention, a visit to our industry-leading website will warm the hearts of all our SBR employees, especially myself. Now, the links are over there to the left, so do check those out. Thanks for watching.